I feel lazy. I skipped another day of push ups and I'm guilty. I feel guilty. It's because I am guilty. The reason I feel bad is not that I took a day off, it's because I didn't plan to take a day off. I woke up a little later, I put the push ups off. I thought to myself, I'll do them a little bit later. I'll do them in the afternoon. And then the afternoon came around and I said, you know what? I'll do them in the evening. And then by the time it was evening, I went to bed early and I didn't do my push ups. And I don't like that. I don't like being passive like that. I'd prefer if I was proactive and I just at least said, you know what, I'm going to take the day off. Now, I don't really see myself doing that because the second I think to myself, you know what, I'll take the day off, I also think, you lazy bum, get off your butt. I do sometimes speak negatively to myself like that, which I shouldn't do. And yet it does push me to do more. But I'm just feel bad because no one's going to do the push-ups for me. The tally doesn't go up unless I show up. And I sure want to get this challenge done with eventually. So that means I got to show up. Really, I don't feel bad about taking a day off. It is just that I didn't plan for it. And I let the day slip away from me. I did a bunch of other stuff. I just didn't do the push-ups. And so in this little portion of my life, this little tiny corner of my life, I feel like I'm falling behind. And it's really just the fear of missing out. It's like opportunity cost. I learned about this in economics back in high school. Opportunity cost means that with a certain opportunity, there's a potential to make a profit or to increase your income or to have some sort of benefit, right? Usually the example that I'll hear or I'll use is college. They say that the average person in the United States who goes to college makes about $80,000 a year. The average person who doesn't go to college in the United States makes about $40,000 a year. And I'm making these numbers up, right? But it's real. There's a difference, okay? It's maybe not that crazy. Maybe it's like 40,000 and 60,000. Either way, there is an opportunity cost to going to college. You do have to invest time and money and energy into education, but the result is there's an opportunity for you to have a higher income. And of course, there's many, many outliers. It's just that as a general rule, when you invest more time and money and energy into your education, you tend to make more. And so I think about this and I think about the push-ups because if I invest a little bit of time and a little bit of energy into doing those push-ups, I know in the long run, I'm going to be healthier. I'm getting my blood flowing consistently. I'm getting stronger. And there's an opportunity to be much more fit in the future. Now, you could say the same thing about taking a day off. Sometimes taking the day off is actually better than working out. Specifically, if you're pushing yourself to a crazy intensity, like you're going super hard, which I'm not doing. So I don't feel like I could justify that. And if we go to the extreme, if you're only taking days off, you're not benefiting at all. You don't get any of the benefits of training because you're not training at all. But I'd prefer to train over not training. And the reason for that is, look, I'm doing 200 push-ups a day. If it takes me an hour, usually it'll take me between 30 minutes and an hour to get the 200 push-ups done. If it takes me an hour, That's 1 hour of my day spent training. And then 23 other hours spent not training. So for the most part of my day, I'm not training. My body's recovering. Now, it's not like a super perfect recovery. Like, I'm still kind of putting on a little bit of pressure every day. But for the most part, it's recovering. I'm not running a marathon. I'm not training for 2 or 3 hours a day anymore. I might do 1 hour. And it's really not that high intensity either. So there's an opportunity cost that I'm missing. Or I guess it's an opportunity I'm missing. The cost is not there because I didn't pay anything, because I didn't do the push-ups. But that's life. Sometimes you miss a day. I don't want to bag on myself too hard because I've shown up the past 3 days. I've been doing my 200 plus push-ups a day still. I've been doing exactly 200. One of these days I did 200 and then I did a set of 40, which was nice. Doing a set of 40 push-ups, just checking if I could, just pushing myself a little bit. I do want to get back into really high reps. I want to get to 100 push-ups in a row at some point, but I've been talking about that for a long time, and I just don't feel the need to commit to it right now. So I'm going to keep doing things the way they are. If I miss a day every once in a while, that's awful tragedy, but it is what it is. Sometimes I miss a day. I've been thinking about the fear of missing out, because that's really what this is about. Fear of missing out. I don't want to miss out on the gains. I don't want to miss out on the fitness, the potential fitness. And part of that I hate, because it reminds me of the market. I'm really not a fan of economics, of the market, because from what I've seen, it's all just speculation. It's all just made up numbers. It's all just, oh, is this going to go up or down? Up or down? What does it mean? It doesn't mean anything. Like, there's no reason for bread to cost $5 when I go to the store. It doesn't make any sense to me. There's no reason why in some countries it costs a few cents, and here in the United States it costs $5. Just because of inflation or something. I don't know. It's all speculation. They're speculating the price of bread through the roof. I talk about speculation, but what I'm really talking about is the paper market. So I learned about the paper market about 3 or 4 years ago. I didn't really know how this worked, but I got really into precious metals. I got super interested in gold and silver, and I was stripping copper wire. I was collecting a bunch of copper wire. I ended up selling like most of my copper, but I think I have a pound of copper lying around somewhere. I got really into precious metals, and I learned about the paper market. And there's a coin shop that's actually just a couple miles away from me that I'd frequent, and I got to know the owner, and I go and I just talk to him, ask him all sorts of questions. How does this stuff actually work? And he kind of explained it to me. So if you look up the price of silver, it'll tell you right now it's like $80 an ounce. When I was interested in this stuff, it was like $20 an ounce. So it's really blown up. But what I was saying is it's like $80 an ounce right now. And that is at the supplier. So the guys who buy the silver and they refine it and they melt it down into coins or bars or whatever, they're selling it for, let's say, $80 an ounce. And someone's buying it at $80 an ounce. And that guy, he doesn't technically have it. He has a piece of paper that says, you've purchased this much silver for $80 an ounce, right? And it will be shipped to you on this day and blah, 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 right? So he has silver in the form of a paper document. It's like a receipt, right? At this point in time, it's not really even a paper market. It's like an email market because it's all online now. But this guy has some sort of documentation that says you got this silver at $80 an ounce. And he's selling that at $81 an ounce. And someone's buying it and they're selling it at $82 an ounce. And they're selling it at $83 an ounce. And then the guy at my local coin shop is buying it and he's getting it at $83.50 an ounce. And when I go in there, he's offering 1 ounce of silver for $84 an ounce. So there's like 5 middlemen, and they're all trying to squeeze out a little bit of profit. And by the time it gets into the actual consumer's hand, you're spending way more than if you just went to the supplier. Now, the supplier, they're not going to sell you just 1 ounce. So I kind of get the point of the market. At the same time, it never passes through any of these guys' hands. They're just selling it to somebody else, and they're just rerouting the shipping directions. They're just saying, actually, don't send it to me, send it to this guy. Actually, don't send it to me, send it to this guy, and I'm going to take a profit of this much. And people make money like that, and they make a lot of money. And that's just a bunch of nonsense to me. I get that's how we get things all across the world these days, but why was my bread $5? Come on. I don't know where this went. I'm complaining because I missed the push-ups. I did 640 push-ups in this video. Adding that to my 93,880 brings me up to 94,520 push-ups completed so far. Jesus loves you. Hopefully, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.